Hello and welcome. Once again you find me walking another bit of the Fosse Way. It's got some kind of magnetism for me, but right now we're walking in the footsteps of many thousands of ancient people from way before the Romans. And yeah, I keep another place I keep driving by and think, oh yeah, I must go down and explore there. And well, it's pretty straight, you know. It's got wiggles, but it's pretty sort of direct. Obviously that'll be attributed to the Romans. Anyway, what I'm hoping is that further along here we will come to a Roman settlement by the Avon, the River Avon. Now look at this beaut. Now that's quite old. How ancient is ancient? What's the technical term? Because that's quite a few hundred years old, isn't it? By the wayside. And here we have proof that when you think of straight roads from the Romans, you never think of them as going uphill. Or at least I don't. Doesn't occur to you, does it? So as soon as it's long and straight, I just assume it's flat, but it's quite a beautiful sky, isn't it? Ish. With the lone oak tree. Placenta-like oak tree. Does seem quite bleak and beautiful. Strange. There we go. You can see hills in the distance there, and then, you know, it's not, it may be old, but as in all roads, you know, they're not always exciting. But I'm sure there are some hidden monuments to the side of it in various places. Maybe we'll find one. After all, this isn't a coincidental life for nothing. I'm joined by an aircraft and some farmer noise. Nothing new there. My favourite garland. And this is still one of the few parts of it that's still able to be driven on, even though it's not a road or part of a road. Even though it is a road, okay. This is a byway as opposed to a road. bucolic. Everyone likes to peer over a gate, don't they? There's another oak. It's reasonably old, not ancient though. Even I wouldn't call it ancient. It's great, there's lots of oaks by the side of the road. And some of winter's greenery here. This is privet, wild privet. It has little black berries, of which I can't see any right now. Ooh, quite an old ash there. I like this bit of it. This is more like my kind of place. I don't like open, straight and paved. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of mud, but yeah, I'd rather walk on the earth than not. Look at all this ivy weaving through here. Juxtaposition of horses and aircraft. And the beauty of nature. And some lovely light. It's a lovely ivy cathedral in there. So onwards. Winter light is quite interesting to work with. Lovely sound of water. It's running down to, hopefully, the stream that we'll get to see in a minute. A little while. You can see the track going down through there. Deer, foxes, badgers. Don't know about deer. Muntjac maybe. Foxes and badgers, pretty certain. You can see the light's getting quite low. Wonder how deep this is. Yeah. Well, deep enough if you've got holes in your wellies. Which I haven't, so it's alright. Well, this is an unusual afternoon walk. Normally I'm heading back by now, not heading out. It's kind of mid-afternoon. I just thought I'd do it because the light's going to be good earlier, hopefully. I mean, it's a bit dark as well, but you know, I like to give some different perspectives of light and day and time. And look, it hit this. Can you see that track coming through there? Could be muntjac there, because it's quite, you know, it's not a low hole like a fox or a badger would do. Don't know, like I said, it could be all three. Could be something else as well, but it's certainly not fallow deer or roe deer or red deer, because they wouldn't stoop down so low unless they really had to. Oh, and just thought I'd mention it. It's pretty cold. I may be about to put my gloves on. That's how cold it is. Well, tain't no word of a lie, was it? Gloves. Oh, ooh, look at that. Now, as you notice, this bit isn't drivable at all, except for motorbikes. But anything other than that, and you're not allowed to. But we can walk it. Yeah, when I say anything other than that, I mean in terms of motorised. I mean, I can't resist, so I'm going to. Would you like it motorised? No, I don't even want it past my chest. Anyway, that was a niche 1970s reference, but I mean, I say that, but quite a few people in other countries might know that. I'm ashamed that I do. That even more than 50 years later, I still know the words. Ha ha ha. I'm sorry it's a bit wobbly. I didn't want to bring my gimbal today because I didn't think I was going to be doing much filming of walking. Now I wonder if this is where animals get in and and up the other side. Yeah, that's deer. Dad joke alert. There you go. You've probably made it yourself. Well, as you can see in a minute, well, you can possibly feel that we're starting to descend now, getting closer to the river. Now there's a road that's just crossed here, or here has just crossed a road, whichever way you want to look at it. But as you can see, we've come further down since, well, I've been talking to you. You know, I'm in two minds about the gimbal versus selfie stick, in that, you know, I want to, for the people who can't get there or can't get out, it gives you a feel of actually walking, because when you walk, your head isn't in a smooth flowing motion at all. And I find the smooth flowing motion of a gimbal to be not like real, you know. Is that very good English? I don't know, that's probably American English, isn't it? I can be crap at English. I think the point is communication, isn't it? That's the main purpose. And if you can understand people, even if they speak different languages or different versions of the same language, it's all good. And before you ask, I think it's an oak, but I'm not quite sure. No, not quite sure what that one is. Maybe dogs go through there. This is a nice little stream, isn't it? But this is running alongside. We're looking for one that crosses. There we go, there's another old tree there. That's an ash. It's going to be getting to that time of night when the blackbirds are going to start. Ooh, look. I like that one. More water. This isn't the water, by the way. This isn't the water I'm looking for. Oh, that's an old willow. As is this one. Now, I'm not sure if this is a spring. It looks kind of springy. Beautiful light. Low winter sun. As you can see, we're going to start going uphill again, and then we're about to, once we've got up here, we'll then start going down again. But over maybe a mile, maybe more than a mile, or maybe less, depending on how badly I've read the map. But it's nice to have these colours, isn't it? I had to take the opportunity of it being sunny. Look at all them. Do you think that's old sunflowers there? Sunflower stems. I wouldn't be surprised. Back to what I was saying earlier about time, I find that it might just be, you know, this is just me, but I prefer to get up, get out, do what I got to do, then come back. And I have this method where because of my accidental way of buying older vehicles, because I like them basic, what I find is that I need to, oh look, cornflower. It does happen, flowers flower at all times. They do. Not all flowers, but some flowers. Some, not sun. Yeah, that's better. And I've not done anything. Weird. But as you can see, this goes on quite a bit. I'm enjoying this. Hope you are. There's where something scrabbles over the wall. Or has been scrabbling over the wall for years. Yeah, it's a good thing, because I have old vehicles, and what I found is if you leave them too long, well, in fact if you leave any vehicle too long, it won't start. So I make a point of driving my vehicles at least every 2 or 3 days. 3 days I can go. If I get onto 4, then I've got to go out. And it does work. I just drive it, you know, at least 10 miles, charge the battery up, and just get everything, you know, so it's working and at full temperature and everything. It's good, it's worth doing, because, you know, you could not feel like going out for days on end, especially if you live on your own. And then when you come to have to go out, you try and start your car and it won't. But also this way it gets me out the house, and I'm a lot better if I get up and get out. There, that's Badger. Look, you can see the rocks he's thrown up. It's always good to get up, get out, do what I got to do, usually shopping, and then I'm ready. You know, I'm sort of jump started into doing stuff. That's the theory. And it seems to work in practice too. I'm just thinking about what I've just said, and I love all these little vistas. This is really interesting and shows you just how attractive this track is to animals. They come from all sides of the field. There's a whole load that I haven't bothered pointing out just when there's a nice vista, but there's loads of little tunnels where they come through from the side and gone out the other side. There's one there. It's incredible. So much life in here, magnetised by thousands of years of activity. From when it was created to now. But yeah, so what I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself was that, you know, if you live on your own, it's a good idea to force yourself to go out at least every 2 or 3 days. Some people do it so they deliberately go out every day. I mean, I used to have to walk into the nearest town from where I lived and get a loaf of bread, because by the time I'd walked into the town, got a loaf of bread, gone round to see people, seeing as I'm there, might as well visit people, I'd end up eating the bread. And it's quite interesting, I've just thought of it back there, was that I accidentally have lived the old ways without even trying. You know, I just used to pop into town, get a loaf of bread, some cheese, and if I wanted my dinner, you know, a main meal as such, I'd go into the vegetable shop and get myself some carrots and peas and anything that I could eat raw, and that would be my dinner, and I'd eat that going back if it was still during the day. Occasionally people would cook for me, which is lovely. Beautiful green, isn't it? It really is that green. Now this one's clearly bigger animals. That's where the big deer go. As you see, we're about to start descending down, and even if you look, you can see there's a valley there where the trees are, and it sort of disappears where you can't see anything. See the orange? Those orange bits of branches? That's a willow there. Here we go. We're descending. We are now on a scheduled monument. Yes, it's a scheduled monument. So welcome. Scheduled means that it's protected by law from any kind of damage. You know, same as Stonehenge and Avebury and all the others that are around here. By around here I mean in Britain. So here we go. Now what we're looking at above the river there, that's where the site of the Roman settlement was. Now I'm pretty sure that there may have been something else there before them, which is why they went there in the first place. Not as beautiful as it could be with the pipe in the way and the swirling, but look at those epiphytes. Now that has put a smile on my face. Oh, it's both sides. Straddled the Fosse Way. Well, I say early Roman town. Well, I do wonder, was it? Or did they just stomp on it and go, right, this is ours, let's build? Because so basically this was a Roman town, or it was an ancient settlement that then became a Roman town, or it was a turn of the, or it was a year zero ancient, or it was a year zero settlement that the Romans built more onto. Because, as you know, there's very little evidence of, unless it was a stone hut, there's very little evidence as to what the ancient Britons lived in the first place, because it was probably made of natural materials. Now this side of it's quite steep, but I mean, maybe you could live above there on that flatter bit, but certainly down here it's too steep. But that's not, is it? So here we go. It's exciting, isn't it? I do find it interesting that some of the, well, two Roman towns have been found very close to where I grew up and very close to where I live. And I do feel blessed. I am thankful for it. You know, there's got to be a good reason why I've been homeless 8 times, but still managed to live the way I do. I was only going to go for a short walk, but you know, I'm carrying on, aren't I? Look at me. Now, I wonder if they really did live this low down, because Or maybe 2,000 years ago the river was different, because this would flood. Yeah, you see where I'm going with that? It could flood. And the one at Canetio, at Minor, that's pretty much on a slope like that. You know, the field is sloping. I suppose ideal flat bit of land just doesn't exist, does it? Only in a few rare places. Can you feel the history? I mean, weirdly, I can. Well, I didn't think I was going to be saying that. I can feel it. I can see Romans walking around here. That's quite weird. But it is an old place, isn't it? It's old. The actual road we got there on is old. See, this looks like it'll be livable for sure. There's a lovely oak tree. See, I like that little bit there. Do you know what? I think that's a shrine there. Just what I feel. My body is telling me that that's a special place. I'm loving this winter light. It makes a change from the other day. I can see, for one thing. So here, that channel goes to where we were just looking, where that oak tree was. And just in there is actually an earthwork coming out. Somewhere there, can't really make it out from here. There's some cones in the way, so it's somewhere, probably in the centre of the shot there. And as you know, earthworks mean ancient British. See, I'm guessing here was the site of where the ancient Britons used to live. If that's the earthwork there, at the bottom of that slope that you can't quite see, that's where the river is. This is where they lived. I bet you. Just makes sense. And in fact, checking the map, the earthwork comes out in a curve round there. So that could be the settlement that we're looking at. And now I've been up at the top, this takes on a bit of a larger significance for me. I mean, are we looking at an earthwork there? And just because it's not on maps doesn't mean it's not. It just means they didn't. It can mean that they didn't find it because they were too busy at the other end of the field. Oh, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you next time. There's beautiful smell there. Reminds me of something I can't place. Oh, see you later. Ta-ra.